This episode of the Hat Makers podcast is brought to you by Hat Blocks Australia, makers of fine handcrafted timber hat blocks and hat making tools.
My, what a peculiar place to have a party.
Welcome to the Tea Party, the Hat Makers podcast, where we connect with hatters from around the world, talk hats and hat making to build the community, and share tips and tricks to take your hat making to the next level. Wow. So sit back, pour yourself a brew, and settle in, because here comes the show. On this episode of the Hat Makers podcast, we're chatting with Mar Calvo from Calvo Hats. Based on the beautiful island of Ibiza, Mar creates one-of-a-kind handcrafted hats for her clients from all around the world. Using predominantly wool felt hat bodies, Mar has taught herself the art of hat making and refined her craft to create her unique brand of hats, which she describes as approachable, wild and free. I had a great time getting to know Mar and to hear a little of her story, and you will too in this episode of the Hat Makers podcast. Hola Mar, welcome to the show. Hello.
Muchas gracias. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming. So let's start. How about you tell us who you are and where you're from?
Well, my name is Mar Calvo. I live currently in Ibiza. It's been like 15 years I'm here, but I grew up in mainland in Spain, grew up in Barcelona. And this hat thing just came up like 4 or 5 years ago. I've started as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is my head is pretty small. So it was pretty hard for me to find headpieces that suit me. And I've started like buying hat bodies or old hat pieces, and I've started to decorate them. But then I just found interesting the idea that I can just make my own hats. And that's how I've started. That was the reason, my tiny head.
So how did you find the tools and the materials to get started?
That was hard, I have to say, because like now here in Spain, what I see, it's like in 2-3 years till now, a lot of people decided to start like hat making and this. But when I got here, it wasn't that trendy, right? So it was difficult. Just like 1 or 2 people here in Spain was doing like hat blogs and hat making tools. They were so expensive, or you need to order from the States or somewhere in Europe, like Romania, Eastern Europe, and places like that. So it was like a work of research that it took me a little bit. And then what I found, other hat makers anywhere, they were keeping everything very for them, just like people was not very friendly sharing tips. So It was like my kind of research.
So you had to find it out for yourself.
Yeah. I had and then of course then you start buying, and then you start see what you need, what you don't, what you like, how you like to work. If you want like wooden blocks, or you want to go for you buy plastic, or you buy fiber stuff. I know this guy from New York that works with the 3D machine and things like this. But then you just start making your atelier. You start to design what you need and what you don't, what you like. I have had bodies that had blocks that I've never used. They're still there because then I just found them useless. Or you buy things by mistake. That this really happened to me in the beginning. But well, this is how I learned, just messing up.
Nice to add them to your collection.
Yeah.
And have you always been a hat person?
Say again.
Have you always been a hat person?
I have to say that um, an interesting point of this is my grandmother. My grandma, I think like I'm like a double of her. We had born on the same day, same day. Okay. My grandma was a fashion designer, like a tailorist. She used to make like wedding dresses and fancy dresses for a party with very eccentric and very crazy stuff. And everything, every design she used to make a headpiece, a bag, and shoes. So she used to make the whole outfit, and she was always wearing a headpiece. Anything, like, I have stuff here. Many things that I have are from her. She never went that much to the hat making thing, but it was a fact at home to, you know, hats and headpieces. So I think that when she passed, that was like about 11 years ago. I've got like a lack of contact with this side of my past. And like 4 or 5 years ago, I've started to connect, but just like very random. It just came to me like that. And I think that in some point, the information is just coming through. So
Channeling your grandmother.
I cannot explain why, but it just came like that. One day, I remember one day I was driving my car, and it was like, okay, I'm going to make hats. I want to make hats. So I started to research like hat making workshops in Spain. And nobody was doing that except a couple of schools, one in Madrid and another one in Sevilla. So I decided to join that workshop in Sevilla. Was a little bit disappointing because my teacher, let's say that, was like a very conservative woman and traditional. So all my questions and all my thoughts and everything that I used to ask, it was like, oh no, 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 that is not possible. Oh no, you won't be able to do that and this. Um, I was lucky because this it wasn't very long, so it was only an afternoon workshop. So what I've done is just taking the main things to start hat making. So like how could I blog like very quickly, understanding how can I just transform a hat body on a hat, and how to create a couple of stiffeners and this, but then I just find it pretty useless because everything that I've learned, it was by myself, just messing up stuff, burning hats, and just like that.
Yeah. So you got a little push in the right direction, a little bit of encouragement from grandma, and then
I
mixed with your own magic, you started to create.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like that. I mean, I even didn't know how to sew on a machine. And one day, somebody that is actually today my friend, somebody contacted me for making a hat for her, and she's a fashion designer, and she teached me in 1 hour video call how to sew on a machine. So everything like super fast and super. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but then boom, it just happens. So that's why I think she's there, and in some way is just sending information.
Absolutely. And your logo is a little bit of magic too, I see, with
Yeah,
the hat
yeah,
and the hands.
yeah,
Yeah, I love
yeah,
that. What
yeah.
inspired that?
Well, actually, it's the logo. It's so different. One day I can share with you the original one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a tarot card.
Mm.
I wanted to have in the beginning like a queen, but instead of wearing a crown, I wanted to have her a hat, and she's supposed to be wearing like ¿cómo se llama? Un bastón on the hand with, it was something different. And
Hmm.
then the girl, she decided to use my hands, and she saw a hat that I did in the beginning, and she just did like this. So it was a mix of what I wanted, and then she decided to do this completely different design that I just love, and I have it
Yeah,
here. So that's the original one.
the tattoo. And so tell me, like it's like a tarot card, but it also has the number
Yeah,
three on it. So what does that
yeah.
signify?
Well, the number three is my number. It's like my everything. It's just for me, it means perfection. It means lucky. It means it's the day that I wanted my son I wanted my son to come to this world the day
Hmm.
three, and he just came on the 3rd of January. So I have born on December 12th, so it's like a multiple of the number three. So everything is like three everywhere for me.
All
It's
right.
my lucky number, so it needed to be there. Everything that I do on the hats normally, if it's like triangles, if I do crosses, it's always three crosses. Or I had that time that I used to use lines, and I used to make these lines here, like the scratches, they were always three. It's always
Hmm.
about three.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my lucky number.
I like it, and I love that tattoo. It's amazing. And
Thank you.
so, have you been making some hats for your son as well?
Yeah, well, he has a couple of hats. Actually, he's doing now one. I'm kind of teaching him. This is the hat that he's making now for himself. He needs to, because I want him to introduce him to the hat business, right?
Hmm.
Make, maybe for him, and it's a way to to explore imagination and see how far can you go. So he already has been choosing the colors that he wants to put on the hat. He already choosing a stone, and yeah, he has another one at home. He has a couple of hats. He liked them.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. He looks
yeah, he's
cool in
like,
them.
he has the personality. He likes to wear headpieces, even caps or scarves or whatever. He's such a character guy.
Yeah. What's his name?
Bruce.
Bruce. Yeah,
Bruce
you
Bonaventura.
Bonaventura.
Bruce Buenaventura is like a super cool name. This guy needs to be somebody in the future. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he has to be with a mom like you for sure.
he's a rock star, but he's super sweet, amazing boy. Bless him. Yeah.
¿En cuántos años tiene?
Tiene
Ocho.
ocho
All right.
años.
Yeah. What size head is he?
53.
Okay. So not too hard to get a
53.
hat block.
No, he can use some of my hats. I mean, they just a bit big. I'm
Yeah.
54. So
Nice.
that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the
Perfect.
point.
And do you remember the first hat that you made?
Yes. Well, I remember the first hat I blocked. It was a black hat, a black fedora that I blocked in this workshop that I was doing, in there, something that I was not really sure that, to do this. But so this lady was teaching me, and I just did whatever she wanted. But when I came back from Sevilla the day after, I already bought an iron, and I got like a couple of hat blocks. So I transformed this hat on something that probably today I would never do. Nothing like this. It was a simple fedora with a couple of stitches in gold and a patch. But I've sold this hat. Somebody bought that hat. It's somewhere in Ibiza. I don't know. But I've sold it. And But the first hat somebody really requested to me to make was I have a friend. He's from Switzerland, and he bought a hat for his wife that I was already cutting the brim with scissors. So when I now see the picture, that I still having butterflies when I see things like very old, but you can see the the brim that is not perfect. It's a bit curly, but the design was cool. It was with a zip, and I written the name of the song that they wanted, and she's still wearing it
All
so
right.
proudly. She always sends me pictures like, "Hey, I'm wearing it," and the hat is still there, and it's beautiful as well to see how you evolve on your work. you
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
so yeah.
It's always interesting to look back at those first few hats and then kind of like, and then
Yeah,
see where
yeah,
you are
no,
now.
wow, yeah, no, a lot of things changed. I found, I've been struggling for a long time with the stiffens, with
Hmm.
the stiffener.
Yeah. So do you stiffen your hats? Do you stiffen your felts?
I do, yeah, because I mainly work with wool,
Okay.
because it's like for people, it's more affordable to buy a wool hat
Yeah,
instead of a rabbit or a beaver or full felt hat.
absolutely.
So I mainly work with wool. So many things of what you see on my feet is wool,
Hmm.
and I stiff them myself, and I just find this super hard
Yeah.
stiffing, and
Do you
that's been so challenging.
do you buy
Say,
a hat stiffener or do you make it yourself?
I make my
Yeah,
stiffener.
with like a shellac, or is it
Yeah,
super secret?
I use my shellac.
Yeah.
Yes, I just mix. ¿Cómo se llama? Es que no sé cómo se llama. Se llama las escamas. Son escamas. It's like pieces. It's something for treating wood,
Yes. Yep.
and then you mix with
With the
alcohol,
alcohol, yeah.
and then you can just you can do it more flexible, or you can
Hmm.
do it more hard.
And do you
So
spray it
this is
on?
good as well. No, I use a brush.
Okay.
I use a brush directly on the felt,
Hmm.
and it's always nice, no, because sometimes you speak with people that they don't like that hardness
Yeah.
on a hat. They wanted something. Sometimes it's normally men. They prefer something more gentle on
On the
on
head.
the headpiece. They don't want something like super hard. So this is a way where you can just go a bit more progressive and see what you how hard you want, and you want your hat to be.
Yeah. It takes
So
a lot of work to kind of get to the point where you know how much to put on and how much not to.
I just do it. I just do it, and then I see. For me, it's that I'm not on this. It's something that I don't know never how it's going to end up.
Hmm.
It's something that I say to my clients, like, listen, I'm flowing, and I never know how the hat is going to look like. I'm just when I speak to the clients for a custom hat, I make like some questions. There's people who opens up a little bit more. There's people who has the things very clear. But when I'm doing this interview, I never know how the hat is going to look. I just know about the color and about the shape. And then one day, it's the time to make the hat for this person. I sit down, I block it, and then it's like, okay, notes, this. And I make it. There is no, never, I don't know never what it's going to happen and how the hat is going to look like.
Very intuitive. Yeah, nice. I kind of work like that too. I find it too hard to kind of imagine a hat. I need just to be with the pieces and the things in front of me, and then put it all together, and hopefully it looks okay.
Yeah, it's true. No, well, when I feel very free is when somebody is not really pushing on my work. Like, there's people very picky, like, oh, but what you're going to do, and I want to see, and da, da, da. And then I feel a little bit of pressure because it's like, okay, you are just not letting me do my job.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the people who wants me, they show me a picture about something that they seen, like, I want this, and it's like, okay, yeah, you want this, but I don't want to do that. So it's like, can you just let me do, can I just show you what I have in mind? And then the most of the times the people agree and they let me do, but there's people that don't allow me to do my thing, so then it takes more time. It's more difficult for me.
Yeah, I don't like that pressure, and I think that, like, being a hat maker that is a hat maker slash artist, people come to you for your style of art and your style of hats. So it's nice to be able to, for them to give you some ideas, but it's best
Yes,
when you can use those ideas and interpret it how you like to do it.
I think um I had just become like, for me to wear, okay, for me, I have many hats, right? But for me it's like a prolongation of your personality, so it's like the cherry on the top of the pie for me is that. Plus it's also like a protection, and it's something that you need to wear the hat. Otherwise, if the hat wears you, it's like, no, 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 nobody will see. But a headpiece is like something that if you know how to wear, and if it's a custom hat, that's why I like to make custom hats, because this is what a person needs. No, in the end, it's like, okay, you put your hat on and then you are ready to go outside and you smash it up.
Absolutely.
So I like to create hats for this reason, because I like to empower people, and I think a hat it's just a very empowering headpiece or fashion piece that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's the end of the outfit.
There's something special about it, that's for sure. I think when you say, like, yeah, like the hat can wear you, if you don't have that confidence and you're kind of hiding in it, it just looks like this big neon sign on
Mm-hmm.
your head. And sometimes that's like, I feel like a hat can give you that chance to find that confidence in yourself, and if you can let it open and wear that hat, and then that brings that confidence, it's like an incredible thing.
Exactly. Well, what I also, because it's a head, because it's a piece that it really empowers you when you wear it. It's like, oh wow. So if you are not very confident with yourself, it could be like too much. So that's why I think the people say, "Oh, I'm not a hat person," or "No, you are a hat person," because there is a hat for every single person. The only thing you have to find out is what is your kind of hat. Not because it's trendy now, you should wear a wide brim, because if you are a small person to wear a wide brim, it really have no sense. Or if you are a short person, if you wear a tall crown, it will help you to look taller. And there is like visual things
Proportions.
that happen when you wear a hat. You can look so different if you are wearing the right hat.
Mm.
I remember before I used to wear like wider brims, and I don't see myself anymore on this. This is like my kind of brim,
Mm-hmm.
that size.
Was that three
It's
and a
just
half
perfect.
or three for you?
It's like, yeah, it's like 6 centimeters, something like this. Yeah, 7.5. I don't in inches. I can't tell you. I'm just so bad.
We use centimeters
don't know
here, but for brims, I always use inches. I don't know why.
7.5. Say again?
Here, like in Australia, we use centimeters and millimeters, but with hat brims, I always use inches for some reason.
Here is those the my size of brim, my perfect size of brim is like 7.5 centimeters. This
Okay.
is what I feel comfortable with. Something longer than this is just like, ugh. And in Spain, we always say hi, giving 2 kisses, and we hug a lot. So it's a bit uncomfortable when you are wearing a hat, and now it's super trendy that you find people with hat everywhere. So it's like,
Always bumping
those
hats.
see, so it's always more comfortable to wear a small brim instead of a super wide.
Yeah. So are most of your customers in-person consultations? Like, do you see most of your customers?
Can you say again?
Do you meet most of your clients in person? Or
No,
is it online?
no. They, that's crazy. I don't have like a proper website yet. Um, the main thing the biggest tool that I use is Instagram. So a lot of people comes across Instagram, and otherwise it's like mouth by mouth, or people who comes to Ibiza. I have this this kind of people that is coming on holidays, and they just advertise me that they will come in some point of the summer. So what I do is like design a hat for them, and they come to pick it up and collect them in summer, or otherwise it's by video call.
Yeah, awesome.
We meet up, but the interview is like is face to face, but on a video chat.
Okay. And that works well
That's
for
how it
you?
works. Otherwise, yeah. Say again?
That works well for you?
Yeah, yeah. Because now even I have people in Ibiza that in summer they don't have time, but they want a hat, so we need to do video chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easier, no? Because then you can put a face on a voice, and you can see the people how it moves. If they are at home, they can show you, the clothes that they wear, or if they have hats, I ask them to try the hats on to understand how they look on a hat. And yes, of course, it's always much easier if you see the person.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For me, it works a lot.
Yeah. I mostly just do like
Because
messaging, but I think like the video consultations are a really good idea.
the video works very well because you put a face.
Yeah.
Also, I check a little bit on their Instagram. I ask them to share pictures, of them on different situations. Like, I don't know, who is Jack going for dinner with his wife, or how is Jack looking on a Sunday afternoon chilling, or like, so like this I can understand a little bit how this person is, and the colors they like to wear, the clothes they like to wear. Is always much helpful to see a little bit more of everybody to create. Otherwise, you can just wonder, and then you can just have an idea that it's completely wrong. That also happened to me.
Yeah.
There is people like, oh, okay, I want a hat and I want it like this, like this, like this, and then you have to wonder, and sometimes your thoughts are just not right.
Yeah.
And then you decide to do something, and the person says like, oh no, this is just not me.
Then you're pulling it apart and starting again.
Then we have a problem. We need to talk again. We need to talk again.
And do you make ready-to-wear hats and just sell them, or everything that you do is custom?
Not really. What happens sometimes is like, I've been dreaming one night, and I dream on a hat. I come here and I try to make it. It's just a hat that I imagined, and I want to see how it looks in real life. So I make it, and it can be there for, I don't know, for months, and another day I can pick it up and transform it or do something different. But no, the main things that I have here are custom hats or hats that I make for myself. But when I'm, a bit moody, or, I have like a tough day, I come here and I make myself a hat, and that just makes me happy. It's like go shopping, or,
Yeah. A little bit of
no,
therapy. Yeah.
yeah. It's like for me, it's like a meditation, because when I'm here, I just, I play music and I don't think. I just do hats. And if I am motivated, I can spend the whole day here. I forgot about drinking water. I forgot about eating. I'm just like super cozy, and I don't need anything else
Yeah.
as my hat and myself. I'm comfortable here. It's like my comfort area. It's like my refugee.
Yeah.
See,
Do you have a favorite style of hat to make, or do you have like I don't know, a little style that you think
I
is
have
yours?
I have people that inspired me a lot, and because I couldn't say I have like, I think the people thinks I have my own style, but I couldn't say what is my style. I don't know what my style is. I try to adjust my hats as much to close as the person, but I like a lot Teresa Folla. I like the hats that you make. I'm telling you about in the beginning, no, people that I put the eye on. So one is you, Teresa is another one. This guy from Brooklyn, ¿cómo se llama? NTTE hats. This guy is crazy. I like this guy
Italiano.
so much. El Italiano, see, and I like this craziness of, and this
Rock and roll.
roughness, this rock and roll thing. I like Coupe de Tête a lot
Mm-hmm.
from Canada. Well, Nick Fouquet in the beginning was someone that I used to check, but then I just found like very obvious, and I just, he has his style, and he created. I think he encouraged a lot of people to the hat making as well. But there's a guy I think from Sweden. I can't remember the name, but he does like very rock and roll and elegant hats. ¿Cómo se
Yes.
Hata Haya, it's something
It's
with
black and
H.
white, a lot of black and white.
Yes,
Is it?
yes, but very sublime, very rock and roll style,
Yeah.
like perfect.
I know that one. I
You
can't think of
know,
the name though. Or is
yeah,
it Hat and Hats?
I like say
Hat and Hats. Is it that
hey,
guy?
see,
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I like these people, Erika Badu, all these crazy hats that she always wears, Bona Capello. I like to see things like that. I flip with this guy from Ukraine with all this move that he made, the Beyonce hats that she's wearing now, this kind of a structure, this architecture on a hat, right? I like to see these things. And also, when one day I would like to go maybe to England and try to see how is to create like a proper milliner piece, like
Like a
to
classic
understand
traditional
how
hat.
yeah, but to understand how can you create like pieces like ¿cómo se llama? Esculturas, ¿no?
See, like
Estatuas,
sculptures.
cosas con, yeah, things
See.
like this. Just not, I don't think this is something that I would do, but it's not bad to understand other styles and just
Yeah, I feel like if you're really kind of stepping into what this hat making thing is, it's nice to get the whole spectrum.
you need to get there as well. I think you need to get there because, well, en España decimos el conocimiento no ocupa lugar, no. So the more you know,
Mm-hmm.
better for you. So even you can just you can use techniques from something else on a hat, no, or even I work a lot with patinas, with acrylic colors. I use fire. I use charcoal. I use many things that I I didn't know that I could use on a clothes piece. So
Yeah, I see that
this.
you have a lot of creativity and you use a lot of different mediums on your work,
Mhm.
and it's really I find it really
I have
inspiring.
like I have times, like that. I have like seasons that I don't know. And now I like to do this under brim thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have like seasons. I before I used to work with the pen fire. Now I have the laser machine, so I find the pen very thick and very. I don't like to use it anymore. Sometimes I like to use more fine lines and
Más fino.
designs, more más fino, más perfecto.
Sí.
So it's about evolution, or you don't feel the same every day, so you can express yourself on a hat. It's like a white canvas for me. A new hat is like a clean canvas where you can work on it.
Work your magic. So
See,
where do you get your inspiration from?
I get inspiration from nature. I get inspiration from the people when I talk with them, because I wonder always about everything. Oh, this should be like that, or you know, I like to see it when I don't know, in a restaurant. I like to watch other people and try to understand who they are, and then I imagine, or I have these things in winter when I walk in the night and I see a light in a house. If I can get close and see what is going on, I mean, I'm not a voyeur, but I like to wonder what
Curious.
is going on. So I think I get inspiration on this. I just wonder about how the people is, and I think I just do it because what I do before, I used to show every step that I used to make on a hat, and now I'm not doing that anymore. I tell them that I will, but then I just, I can create a hat in maybe 2 hours, and then I just like it. I send a picture, and it's like, oh, I made your hat. Do you like it? And normally it's a yes. So it works like that. So um, yeah, this is how I do it.
Just get in the flow without the restriction too much, huh?
See, see.
Yeah. And what's the craziest custom hat that you've made or been asked to make?
If people doesn't go so crazy, actually. I mean, the craziest hats I made are mine. I mean, um, but I had like hard clients, like difficult clients. I had like uh, weird situations. I could say maybe I had more weird situations with some clients instead of. I mean, the craziest hats I made, they were for me. I remember I have these red hats here, like and like that crazy hat. I like that crown,
Yeah, it's
but
nice. It's a different shape.
and I did it for a party. I wanted to go. I wanted to have a red hat for a party, and in an afternoon, I just made this hat for myself. So
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I was, and I had this one as well. Like I've never worn, but one day I was wondering if I go to a wedding, I wear this hat, and I made this hat for myself. Like wanted to. I imagine myself like on a horse, wearing that hat with like with a suit, super elegant, and I can just ride a horse super fast, and the hat is not going anywhere, just with me. So yeah, but
Bandita.
I never worn that hat, but it's something. This was a dream. I had a dream, and I just made that hat.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So yeah, maybe those are the craziest things that I've done.
Are they the
This one,
craziest and your favorite? How many hats do you own?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like 10, 12, 10, 12. This is something I have that you have a similar hat.
Ah, yes. Man, we had a photo that was very
Yeah,
similar, huh?
so this is the
That
hat.
was cool.
This is the hat. And but I never wear that. And it's sometimes what happens is like I create something and then I mess it up, and then in the future I take it again and I continue or I fix it, or so this is what is happening sometimes. That's supposed probably to be something, and I probably mess it up and it ended up like this.
That's a great one. Do you sew your own hat liners?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and it's the inside part of a hat for me. It has a big meaning. Even more if the hat is simple from the outside. It's like I tell always to the people that example is like if you have a hat tattoo on your back, you know, you never see that tattoo, but it's there. Everybody can see. So this is something like a tattoo on your back. You can explain many things and you can have like different meanings, but what the people is going to see is that.
Mm-hmm.
But you when you take your hat off, this is also nice. The story from the inside.
Little secret.
See,
Mm.
I like to hide messages in the inner side of the sweatband, or sometimes I put like secret messages under the lining, but I don't tell anybody. It's like
Hope they find it someday.
someday, maybe not, but
That's
it's
cool.
there. I'm not mean, so it's always great things what I put in there.
Something
I
beautiful.
didn't like to make that hat. So no, 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 no. But I like to do little things like this that they can have a meaning. But yeah, I do my hat linings, and it's something that I do always in the end. However the hat is looking, then I choose the two pieces of clothes and I create the lining.
That's the final piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
How do you go making the liner? It's a bit of a tricky thing to do, huh?
The lining?
I struggled when
This
I
girl?
tried. Yeah.
No, this well, I have my patterns.
Mm-hmm.
and it's always the same. This girl that she teaches me how to sew in 1 hour is the one that she gave me the pattern, and it's so simple. It's just two pieces. It's a round, an oval piece, and like a long piece, and then I cut it up. I sew it on the machine, which is true is that sometimes whatever fabric you use, it's more difficult to sew. If it's silk or if it's cotton, it's easier. Si es raso es muy difícil, no? There is clothes that I kind of struggle sewing. Actually, yes, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's challenging.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. I like it. Yeah. How many hats would you make a week, do you think?
My goal to go well is to make one hat by day. But in winter, for example, I kind of struggle a little bit blocking because the temperature here is so humid,
Okay.
and this is just not good.
Is it not good for you or not good for the hat?
No, it's not good for the hat because they take long time for drying,
Okay.
and in some point I've got humidity on the felt, and that's not good. So what I do now is, I create in winter like a clima, ¿cómo se llama? Un clima
Sí.
en la
Temperatura.
habitación,
Yeah.
una temperatura y con un heater.
Sí.
Yo pongo tengo como una grilla, como una
grill.
parrilla y pongo los sombreros así, entonces el aire caliente entra por debajo y se pueden secar bien. Pero claro, in summer it's perfect because I block them and in 1 hour they are dry.
Listo.
So summer is great because I can produce like a lot. Like today is blocking day, so I stiffen a lot of felts the day before, and the day after I have my super pan pot with boiling water, and I do like this. I put the hat on top and then I block it. They just sit outside for a while, and I can just work on I can make a hat in 1 day in summer if I want. The whole process.
Do you make one hat at a time, or would you block a few hats and then work on them after you've blocked them?
It depends and how I'm feeling. I mean, I don't have like ¿cómo decirlo? Every day is different. I mean, the whatever I feel, I have a blackboard here with everything that I have to do, and it depends. Maybe I feel it's a great day for blocking and I feel motivated because now, before it was more exciting to do some things. Now I probably enjoy the most just creating or just decorating the hats.
Yeah.
So, in summer here to be blocking, it's a hard job. It's so hot with the iron and with the fire and with the heat. We are almost 38 degrees today, so it's very hot. I sweat. It's a hard job. It's a hard job. So sometimes I'm lazy. It's like, no, I'm not feeling like blocking today. So I push it.
Yeah, when it's a bit cooler. And are you stiffening your felts before you block or after? Like after you've shaped them?
I stiff them before. Then when they are blocked and they are dry, I see if the consistency is what I want. And if they need extra stiffener, I just give them another coat and another coat and another coat.
And do you get like a little hard kind of like frosty finish on them? Like I tried stiffener a few times, and I couldn't get like the felt to be super smooth. It kind of felt like a little rough and like crystallized.
What I see is on the wool. I know you probably work normally with fur, right?
With rabbit and beaver.
The wool is so different.
Okay.
The touch is so different, and the fur is more difficult to manipulate. It's normally the hat bodies that I get from made of fur I buy in the States, and they already come like kind of stiffened. So the process is so different. It's you need to let them um, get wet longer, and when you block, it's more hard. I don't need to I don't need to work much, it's more fast. But with the wool, what I see is sometimes as I put the stiffener with the brush, I mistake in some points. I don't add the same quantity. So this is things that you don't see until the end of the process. No, sometimes the brim is super hard, but then here on the edge is not that hard. So you need to. It's
Touch it up a little.
I don't know. See, it's muy raro because I promise, I have no idea about all these things. I don't know if there's a theory. I just make my own thing, and I don't know if it's right or if it's wrong. It's just my way of doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right that I'm saying
It's
that.
right if it works for you, if it works, it works. That's all that matters in the end.
But yeah, but in the end it works. In the end it works. But it's hard. For example, what I see on the white pieces, on the pale pieces, sometimes you get stain on them, and then it's you have to go with the sandpaper and try to remove those stains. So it's you find obstacles on the process sometimes that you don't know that this is going to happen.
Yeah, if you get stains, this one's going to be a distressed hat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Exactly. Sometimes, when I make like when I want to make a super perfect hat, this is a challenge for me. Like, because of course, if it's dirty, it's easy. You can just even get more dirty or you even get more distressed. But I like when I can get that perfect
Mm-hmm.
as well because it's more challenging.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Makes me feel proud.
it's nice when you can pull it off, huh?
Yeah, it's not really my style, but it's okay. It's okay to create things that are not that just you.
Yeah. Yeah, I struggle to find like that balance between like really perfecting like the hat making craft and then but also like putting your own artistic touch on things. It's
I
like
mean, you have. I mean, you have your style very defined. No, for me, I could say what I see from you is very elegant, and it's Mr. Hat. What you do, Mr. Hat.
yeah, I don't know. I
And
don't
like.
sometimes I wonder if like that's just what comes out, if you know what I mean. But there's lots of other things I'd love to explore, but then maybe I shy away from them as well. Especially when I see a lot of people doing a lot of amazing stuff. I don't really want to copy too much. But then at the same time, it looks amazing, and I'd love to have a go.
You know what? Everybody copy in some point. I think but it's not about. So, okay, you can copy, but it's not fair to copy exactly something that somebody else did, right? But you can get inspired and you can try to do something similar, and that's what happened because you see. I mean, my feed on Instagram is all hats, so I just see them, man. So it's there's no point. I cannot get inspired by others.
Yeah, it's
uh
hard. Sometimes I go through phases of like, well, in the beginning, I'd follow everybody, and then I'd have to unfollow everybody because I was just looking at too many different people's stuff and getting too influenced. And now I'm just at this
I
point where
think
it's like, I kind of like everyone.
I think what you cannot do is compare yourself to the others,
Mm,
because everybody is different. There is a space for everybody in this world. And if you do great stuff, you will find out someday that people is copying you. I mean, I live in Ibiza. It's a very small island. No one is hat making properly. I mean, there's probably somebody who's trying to, but everybody here, there is a lot of influence from Tulum. A lot of people that is here in summer, they go to Mexico in winter, and what they do is they buy these hat bodies that they are made on plastic, and they have like this velvet cloth, and they have this shape like explorer fedora, which I don't like. With it's like a I just don't like it. But everybody's buying this, and they do like a couple of designs with the pen, and the people is buying that
yeah,
because these people, of course, it's cheap, and you can buy I don't know how many pieces for a little amount of money, and you can sell them here for a
more.
lot.
Yeah,
And the people is buying that because there is a lot of markets, and the tourists, they go to these markets and they buy a hat because it's the vibe to wear a hat. Da, 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 da. The people, the tourists, they create like a character when they come to
of
Ibiza.
course.
No, I mean, the people dress up in a way that they don't dress up. Never. People from New York, they will never dress up Ibiza style, but they come here and they want to join. So they go, they buy a hat, they buy a white dress, they go more hippie. Da, da, da. But um, it's for me, it's all the same and it's boring.
Yeah,
I mean, just not judging, but it's not.
yeah,
It's boring.
yeah. So, do you do markets as well?
No,
No.
I hate doing markets. I hate doing markets. But you know what? Because I used to work in the hospitality business many years, and I just get so tired about the people, like
Yeah,
face the people.
it's a lot of energy.
That's tough, man. And the people just don't value your product.
Hmm.
They think I don't know why the people ask always like for discounts, or they just don't value your product the way you do. I mean, for
Yeah,
me it has a price, but because I know how long I take for making a hat, how much money I spend on buying the piece of fur, the piece of for the leather for the sweatband,
hmm,
how long it takes me to create something, or you know
yeah,
it's
and
something that I
and your
do
art.
with my hands. I sew by hand. So man, this has a job behind it. Has an intention. It has a price. And if you don't know what are you talking about, you can just don't ask for any kind of discount. It's just so rude.
Yeah,
I find that so rude because then you are wearing, I don't know, maybe you are wearing a Gucci bag, and this bag is about $5,000 bag, and
yeah,
you are asking a discount for somebody that is making something especially for you. That's not right. So that's one of the reasons I don't do markets, because I don't like to have this kind of situations with people.
yeah. I don't do markets either. I feel like it just with that market mentality, it kind of devalues your work. You know, people want to
It's
get a bargain at a market, and they love to haggle, and so and everyone's touching your things, and you got to blah blah blah.
Yeah,
It's all
I
too
know.
much, you
And
know.
yeah, and then maybe you go with the expectation, and then it's not what you are expecting. So I wouldn't say that it was bad experience, but it's something that I experimented that for me is a waste of time. I don't like it, and then I don't like to be standing there. And it's what I was saying. Oh, how beautiful is that? How much? Whatever. Okay, thank you. No, no, it's better. It's just better, when you explain, when the people come to me across Instagram or across the phone or whatever, I just send the information. Everything is right, written down very properly. I explain my process,
Hmm.
and then the people understand what it is,
Yeah.
and then they don't judge the price because I think my prices are pretty fair.
Can I ask what your price point is?
Yeah, for a wool hat, I charge from 350 euros plus. And for the fur ones, I charge about 600, 605, something like that. Not, no, it's not expensive. I mean, it's a fair price for a custom hat. I don't go overpriced, I think.
No, 2,000 euro hats.
No,
Not,
no,
not yet.
not yet. I don't know, but man, I don't live in Malibu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Others
can't. I can't do that kind of prices.
can't do those Malibu, Venice Beach prices. Whoa.
I I can't do that. I mean, if you know, one day my dream is to have like my hat gypsy band, which is like nomad
Mhm.
van hat making studio. And whenever my son doesn't need me anymore, that's my goal, to take my girlfriend and ride around the world with my hat making van,
Yeah.
making hats and doing like. Have you seen that movie? It's called The Chef, and it's a guy that he quits his job in a super great restaurant. He gets fired because he had like a bad critic from a critic,
And he makes
and
those
he
sandwiches.
yeah he makes
Yeah,
so yeah,
Cubanos,
and then
Cubanos.
his son is see, and his son is posting on Tinder,
Yeah,
sorry, on Tinder,
Tinder.
on Twitter, on Twitter, sorry,
Yeah,
he's posting the next location. So something like that would be
yeah.
a great thing to do in the future. Like, I don't know.
That's
I'm
it.
taking this year the States, and then I take my van to the States and I drive all around the country
That would be
doing
nice.
like pop ups. That would be great.
Did you see Willie from Humpui Hats? I think he had a little van and was
We
doing it.
had see, I know,
Yeah, he
I
was
like
doing
this.
that for a while.
He's doing this?
I think he did for a while. I'm not sure if he still does. But he had a nice little setup, and he had like a, I think it was like a gypsy type van, and it had a little back porch, and he put his little pot plants on there and Humpui Hat sign. Very cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. This guy is selling felts as well, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, he's got some really
He's,
nice
he's
nutria
selling he's
felts.
selling hot bodies from Peru. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think he gets maybe from Bolivia, and they're like the nutria felt. Yeah, so it's like the South
Yeah,
American beaver.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's a cool guy.
Can you imagine that my favorite animal is the nutria?
Is it really?
Yes. So it really has no sense that I'm making hats from nutria. I never did one, but it's crazy, right? That this is my favorite animal.
Yeah. Why is it your favorite animal?
I like the way they are. I like the way they hold hands and in the water they swim together. They are
Yeah.
super sweet. I like that.
Is that a nutria
I
or an
love.
otter?
It's we call it nutria. Sí, son
I
nutrias.
see. Okay.
sí. O
In,
sea, la nutria, ¿cómo se llama nutria?
in Chile se llama coipu or something like this.
Sí, creo que es otro animal. Wait, I find in, let me, nutria, it's not just nutria.
I'm not sure.
Español, una nutria.
Because I think the nutria
Otter?
looks more like the nutria looks more like a rat. And otter.
Otter?
Oh, okay. Huh.
Sí?
Yeah, but okay, in Spanish, yes, but I think the one that Willie uses, it looks more like a rat. It's not as cute as an otter.
No, the nutria is very cute. They have
See.
like this tail, and see, they are sweet.
They're laying on their back in the water. Yeah,
And
just
they
eating
hold
off their.
hands, they swim together. They say when they found his partner, they won't let him go never, so they stay always together. So
Qué linda.
that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah, that is lovely. They make a great hat.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Sorry.
No, listen, I told my sister one day, and now she's just banging myself with memes of nutrias and all. How could you be that mean?
And do you use wool mostly for the price, or is that because of to save the animals as well?
No, not really, because I've tried to do something more sustainable, but then what I understand is that okay, I don't like to say that. I mean, I'm not even vegetarian, okay?
Yeah.
So
No judgment.
but I like animals. But what I found is like there's some animals, for example, in the States, the beaver is like es como una plaga, no? So it's not okay to have a lot of beavers because they end up eating everything. So
Yeah.
es una plaga. So
A plague, yeah.
I don't know. It's something about it. Of course, if you are vegan, you can't make hats.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
You have to do plastic hats, or you have to buy these hats from Tulum. But I don't like that.
That's más horrible.
See,
Oh,
even
no?
I've tried to have like vegan leather for my sweatbands, and it's just not the same. They end up peeling, and the touch, the final touch is just so different.
Yeah, plastic is not good. It
So
doesn't feel good. It's not good for anyone.
no, and then and plastic is not even good. I mean, for the planet. So
Yeah.
at some point, okay. No, I don't do sustainable hats.
Well,
But wool, it's maybe a way less mean.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard to know what's real these days, huh?
Next question.
Yeah. Pass.
I pass.
Yeah.
No, but I've tried. There is I find out like okay, what I find out is if you want to do like vegan hats, you can do them, but you need like a factory because then you have to make them with con una plancha.
See,
and then you have to do many, and you have like a sample and you make many and then you decorate, but they are made with this material which is plastic, which is something I don't like.
Better to use wool, rabbit, and beaver.
Exactly, and then you miss the whole process of the hat making. Because it would be, you won't be able to block a hat.
I think also the good thing about making hats from rabbits and beavers and wool is that vegans won't talk to you, and so you don't really have the problem.
Well, it's crazy, huh? Because I've been working for a vegan restaurant for like 4 years. My boss was like that kind of, he was respectful with everybody else, but I've got very into the vegan world, and I understood many things, and I got knowledge about things that you would never know if you are not close to
Yeah.
somebody. And it's very interesting. At least people should know a little bit more
Yeah.
about some things, because
The factory
things are
farming's
happening
pretty bad.
things are happening that are not okay. The way you feed yourself,
Hmm.
the kind of products that you buy and stuff. It's interesting, at least, that
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
but
I was like vegan vegetarian for about 7 years, and
you
raw.
got vegan for
Oh
some
yeah, vegan, like vegetarian and
full vegan.
vegan, and then raw food. I did like raw food for a full year,
Ooh,
and
wow.
I was like, because I grew up fishing and doing all those things. I got rid of all my fishing gear, all my spear fishing gear, and I was pretty committed to it for a while. And I thought I was doing the right thing, but then over time, I start to understand a little more, and I don't know, it comes back full circle and the cycle of life. And now I found a place where I'm okay with most of it. But yeah, the fact
You
that,
eat meat now?
yeah, I do. I yeah, I do.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's all some phases.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some phases. I mean, you don't need to. I mean, everybody's okay. Everybody can do whatever. Just be conscious.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
That's it.
I had a few people ask me in the beginning, and then now they seem to have disappeared. So that kind of makes it easier. Anyway, let's move. Let's move on.
Yeah, no, this is like
Yeah,
something for another
yeah.
podcast if you want.
Go deep down the rabbit hole. What do you love most about hat making?
Meeting people and making people happy.
Yeah, which you do.
I love to make people happy. And if I can do something that can take a smile from everybody or from somebody, it's just enough. The feeling of creating something that made you smile, it's what I'm looking for. I mean, yeah, making money or live doing something that I can do with my own two hands, and I don't have to question anybody for, that's
Yeah,
that's the best of hat making for me.
yeah.
Make the people happy.
Make the people happy and live free without.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, be free and live free doing this.
yeah. It's a pretty amazing gift to have, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what's something that you know now but wish you knew in the beginning when you started hat making?
Say again.
What's something that you know now that you didn't know in the beginning but you wished you did?
Mm, the stiffener. that's that's something that it took me like a long time to understand. I used to do with Arabic gum my stiffeners,
Mhm.
and I kind of struggle. I've tried glue, I've tried many, 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 many things. And once I've understood that, because then this wax could be different colors, and if you don't use the white one, you can work on white hats and all these things. So the stiffener is something that it took me years to understand, and now, I mean, if I knew these in the beginning, wow, I probably would be more further now.
Mhm. So, what would you like to do in the future?
I think I love to stay the way I am doing like custom hats,
Hmm.
but yes, for sure, I would like to create a website with some ready to wear hats. They are ready to send everywhere, and this is something that it makes money
Mm.
solo. So maybe these, and well, I have like some line of clothing that I am trying to make in the future.
Uh-huh.
Not designing clothes, but yeah, I want to do some lines of some ready to wear clothing pieces that you will see probably maybe next year or maybe in 2 years. I'm getting the information, the enough information of
All right.
that I need to create something. Yeah, that's how I see.
Would you ever
And the caravan as well.
see La
But
Caravana?
this is something that it will take. It's like, ¿cómo se llama? Cuando esté casi retirada, when I'm just getting old.
When you're ready to
And
retire?
yes,
Yeah.
probably I would do that because I don't want to stop never
No.
working or doing things. I mean, I don't want to be full retired. Like, I don't see myself reading a book in my house in Bali forever.
Knitting in your rocking chair?
No,
No.
no, not for me.
Would you open a little shop, maybe?
And there is a place here in Ibiza
Mm-hmm.
that I always pass by in front, and I want that place. I want that place. I see myself in there. It's like a place in Ibiza we have a lot of stores, like concept stores on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So the people stop by randomly because you see a super wow
Mm-hmm.
shop and you want to get in, so you have the parking and then you get in there. So I would like to have like a concept store with my atelier, but with already some ready to wear hats where the people can come in, visit, maybe have a coffee and sit down over there and chit chat. That's something that I would like to have, but on the road, not like in the city and very crowded. Just something where I can be quiet and randomly have somebody to attend.
Yeah. Little destination spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and plus, my girlfriend, she likes to work with wood, so I always push her to do I always say, like, you should do my hat blogs, or you should do like hat making tools. You would make like a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, you know how much is a brim cutter, so, and it's not. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but to do this is not that difficult, I think, right? So I always encourage her to do something like this. Maybe she can have her own spot in there. We could do like workshops. I don't know, something like that I would like to have. Not like a proper shop, but a concept store, yes, I would like to do.
I like it.
Yeah,
Hey, how long after you started cutting your brims out with scissors did you get your brim cutter?
very soon. Very soon. Very soon. I love imperfection, but not in there.
Yeah.
The two tools that are more precious for me are this one, the rim cutter. That is the first tool that I bought. Like, this is important to
Mm-hmm.
have, and a brim curler.
Mm.
That I used to make the brim curler with the boomerang. The boomerang,
Yeah.
the puller downer.
Uh-huh.
I used to do it like this, but then it doesn't get that perfect like when you use the tool. So in some things, when you want to do that kind of perf- perfect end on a hat, you need to have like proper tools to make them.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels nice when you've got a few tools, and it just
Yeah,
makes your work a little bit more fun.
exactly. More easy as well, no? Because sometimes you struggle and then it's like, oh shit, it's not perfect, but I want it to be perfect. And then it's like, when you have the proper tool, it's just so simple.
Yeah. I was finger curling my edges for a long time, just using my thumb and my finger.
Yeah, no, and then I've tried. My mom works with leather,
Mhm.
and she has this ¿cómo se llama? Un compás,
Yep.
but not a compass,
At
pero
the
un
circle
compás. So
making compass,
I
yeah.
tried to design the perfect oval for the brim, and then go around with the scissors, but it doesn't get that perfect because you always have the cut of the scissor.
Yeah.
Every step you do, there's like a bite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, always better with the
Brim
brim
cutter.
cutter.
And do you have any final thoughts or ideas that you'd like to share with maybe beginner hat makers or someone who's just wanting to
Oh
learn?
man, I remember once I was almost burning my house. Like, oh my God. I don't know how to, yeah, because sometimes like, yoo-hoo, where, I like to work with the fire a lot. It has this thing, it's like in winter when you are sitting in front of a fireplace, like el fuego tiene eso que te embruja, ¿no? Y que te quedas ahí. Fuego. So I like to work with the fire, but sometimes you go that far that you cannot stop it. It's like, oh, then you need to put the hat on the floor and step on it. Or, so I've got afraid. Or sometimes you were doing something and I don't know. I mess it up many times. I don't remember. Something like very that I like to share. But yes, I had my issues at making few of them.
Keep a fire
But
extinguisher close
sometimes
by.
from ¿qué?
Keep a fire extinguisher close by.
Sí,
See?
sí, sí. Pero bueno, I've got never tired of it. It's like I like to work with fire,
Yeah.
and I like the smell of the felt burnt. I like that smell.
Yeah, there's something
It's
about it, huh?
it's 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 that smell that it makes you feel home. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My wife hates it.
This is-
She's I have to close all the
Maybe because
doors, but I like it.
see.
Yeah.
No, well, and then in winter, because this atelier is so small, it's just so small. I do everything here. And in winter, of course, everything is closed. So with the alcohol and the steam and the glue and everything, you get a bit hard, right? So when you get out of here, it's like, oof, yeah.
Turn into a mad
But
hatter.
sí,
Yeah.
claro, claro. That's why we're here. We all mad here, right?
Exactamente.
Un poco loco.
So where can people find you if they're looking to see your work?
Instagram, Calvo Hats is the name of the page, and the website is coming up soon. I'm working on it.
Awesome.
I'm just so lazy with the paperwork. So if it's taking long, it's because I'm lazy on this. I am so lazy. I have everything. I have everybody ready to work on it, but I'm just not sending the information to the right person yet. I never find time. I hate to do paperwork. I hate that. I just want to be part of the creative process. I
You got to
don't
let
even
someone else
like.
take care of it. Yeah.
Yes, I know. So my mom is helping in some stuff, with the numbers and this, and my girlfriend is kind of helping with some other stuff because I am a completely disaster.
And if people are in Ibiza and they want a hat, they'll just reach out to you through Instagram.
Yeah, they can just hit me up on Instagram. We create an appointment, and they are all welcome to come here, visit my workspace. And sometimes it's much easy because they can come here, they can try hats. We can talk about and see, what is best for you, what it suits you the best on your shape, on the shape of your face, your style, everything in person. It just helps a lot. On a video you can imagine, you can have a quick idea, but not just, you know, if they are here is
Yeah,
even better.
better in person.
And I love meeting people.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, the people share a lot of stories.
Yeah, well, you sometimes there's a little bit of therapy involved too, huh?
I know. I know. Sometimes I thought that I should charge as well for the time that I spend talking with the clients because man, sometimes it's 20 minutes, but sometimes it could be like 90 or
Yeah.
it can be. I find out like very interesting people sharing like very deep stories like wow.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like getting a tattoo or something like that, you know? There's a lot of meaning some
Hmm.
people put into
Hmm.
these hats. They want it to
Yeah,
mean something special.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is this is the best. This is the best that I have, because it just makes you feel very close from that person, and you just feel free. If the people opens to you, then you can just feel free of whatever you make to share with them.
Hmm.
Like I did that for you because this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
So everything has more sense
Yeah.
if
Everything
you
means more when there's connection and meaning to it, for sure.
exactly.
Yeah. And you can't get that just from a regular hat.
No, that's why, if I have a shop someday, whoever is going to be in charge of the shop needs to be somebody that, I mean, it could be whoever, right? Because every hat has a story. Even if you do a collection, the collection has a story behind. I have collections in my mind that I would make in the future. And all these collections that I have here, they have a meaning, they have an intention. So not everybody can sell. That's what happened when a lot of business here in Ibiza, they ask me for hats. And I normally say no. First thing because they want them on deposit. So it's not a piece of clothes, it's not a clothes, it's a hat. So it needs to be treated well. I mean, it can be there under a window with the heat of the sun every day. So this kind of things, and the people, if doesn't pay for that, they won't treat the product as it has to be treated. Second thing is the price. I have a price, but it's a fair price for me. But I can't give you a much cheaper price for you to have a profit in your shop because it has no sense for me to sell you something that has been taking for me hours to make for you to take a profit. So I don't find that very good for me. I mean, it doesn't work for me to give hats to the shops because and also the people who will sell that hat, maybe they don't know how to explain why this hat is 400 euros. You know, why this hat is 400 euros. Well, this hat is 400 euros because it's been handmade by
This is a Mar
somebody. This
Calvo
is
hat.
some price. Claro, says no. Otherwise, you can just go to Zara and just buy a hat for 30 euros.
Yeah.
But you have a hat that everybody else is wearing.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to have a little place that just has all that magic and meaning that you give it. And then those hats just sell themselves and speak for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, you can sell other stuff, but it would be fair things that they combine together, and they can go by hand. If you have, I have these sets because this guy is somebody that I know, and he makes this, and I like the way he works, and it's painted by hand, or I want to have like special stuff. If I have a shop someday, I just want to have special things. I just like special things. I don't like common things. I don't like what everybody's wearing. I don't want that. I like special. I like unique. And I think now for some reason the people what is buying is the experience. They want to experience. So when you do custom stuff, the people comes to you because they want to experience, and I like that. So this is something I don't want to lose. Never. I want to keep it special.
Keep it special, but maybe sell a few more things at the same time.
Yeah, I see, because it's just easy. Then, of course, if I have to create a collection, I won't make the collection myself. I'm going to
Yeah.
go and make the production in whatever factory. I don't know.
You got to train your son up quick.
Yeah, but anyway, two persons is not enough
Yeah.
to feed everybody. We no, and then you want to have sizes, and it's something that you
Colors
don't
and
want.
shapes and
You don't want to do that, right?
oh, that's too many.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's why there is fabrics for this.
Yeah.
And maybe, of course, if I go this way someday, I probably would choose Ukraine or Portugal or places like that. Just I don't think I would go that big to make my production in China or
Yeah. It kind of that
Turkey or India
loses
or
loses the
places like
specialness pretty quick. Yeah, you're pretty close to FEPSA in Portugal.
yeah, but well, FEPSA it's crazy, because they have no place until next year.
Yeah.
That was in February,
Yeah,
so
that's
you
what they
can't
said
order.
to me last year.
But I have people that sells fur because I was buying from Millenary Warehouse. They have a great bunch of felt
From the Ukraine.
ready to buy from Ukraine.
Mm.
But for me to buy in the States, it really have no sense because they kill me with the taxes.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe one day would be a great idea to become a supplier.
Yeah. Do you get your felts from Greece?
I have bought in the past some felts from Greece from a page that I can't remember the name now, but they don't have the weight that I want. The weight is always smaller, and the custom service is not very good, at least from the supplier that I know. So there is these people from Czech Republic. It's called Toka, Toka,
Tonak.
Tonak,
Tonak.
Tonak. So I need to speak a little bit more with these people. Yeah, I need to do more research.
Always more research.
Always more research.
Yeah.
There's a lot of job to do, man. There's like
So much. What weight felts do you like to use?
about 160 minimum.
Yeah.
160 grams. That's the minimum weight I like to use.
What's the widest brim you can get out of a 160 gram weight felt?
Maybe 8 centimeters, 8, 9. It depends, but yeah, about 8, 9 centimeters. It depends on the
On the size of the block.
on the size of the hat, you know. But well, I mean, the biggest crown that I made a hat for, it was 63 centimeters.
Yeah. Some big
It was a
heads.
lady, Belgium lady. I bought a hat blog, and the guy who was doing the hat blog just told me like, man, who's this for? That's just that's not a size. I mean, I can make you a hat blog, because he was very honest. He said to me like, listen, I'm going to make a 64 blog, and then I would do a couple of necks, like we call this cuello, right?
Cuello, band block. Yeah.
Te puedo hacer dos cuellos con un plus more another centimeter and another centimeter and a half, so you can get there. And to be honest, I ended up using them, but not much.
Yeah. Handy to have, because if someone with a head that big can find someone who can make them a hat, they'll be back for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be back for sure.
Yes, you're right. Actually, that's what happened, because yeah, they come twice. Like, oh, I have a white hat, but now I need a black hat.
Yeah, you're the magic hat
And
fairy.
yeah, it's true, because there is no shop that you can probably buy a ready to wear hat.
Yeah. Same when you have a small head, right? Like a small size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah.
Listen, the big part of the hats that I have here ready to wear are small size.
Your size. Yeah, I do the same. I make them all for me, and then I'll just put them on the website.
Yeah, they are here. I mean, if you know, I have hats that I made for myself that, you know, that maybe I never worn, but I know one day I will. You know, things like this.
Oh wow. Yeah.
But this is very old. Look, those I had like this season that I used to use like a kind of patina. It's like a coat that works for impermeabilizar, just to make waterproof.
Yeah.
And then I find out that when you add this coat on the felt and you pass the iron with you know, this paper that you use for cooking,
like a wax
in the oven?
paper.
Yes.
Etc.
Then the finishing looks like leather.
Mm,
It's crazy because it really look when you touch, it's like leather.
that's cool.
And then, for example, if you burn it on a black hat, the stain comes brown.
Hmm.
And it gives that look of like very Django style, very
A Western, old school Western,
badass.
yeah.
Really like a Western art. So
Do you know
I've discovered. Say,
Lone Hawk?
see,
Yeah, he makes some beautiful
see,
hats, huh?
see. Yeah, he has that kind of very rough style.
Yeah,
I like the embroidery they used to make on the hats.
yeah.
I had trouble actually one day with this guy. He sent me a message like, "Oh, this hat is it's such a copy of something I don't know."
Yeah, he didn't like me either. I think the second hat I ever made, he was like, you're copying me, and then block. But I still like his stuff. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. Same for me. It's like good luck, man.
Yeah.
I have like 3 accounts. I can still
I can still
ghost
see.
you. I can still ghost you.
And you're like the main model for your hat page, right? On Instagram.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? This is something that I just found that it's the signature of my brand. I
Yeah.
mean, because I've used hats for shootings, and I've been using the pictures, but then the repercussion or the ¿cómo se llama? The
Response.
success,
Mm-hmm.
the success of the post is just not the same. And then in the end, you find out that what the people creates an idea of your brand, and it's always me. I make everything. I make my Instagram. I make my pictures myself with the phone. There's no photographer who makes pictures of me. First, because I am so shy in front of a camera, it's like you are with a gun like this. So best way to get the picture is my phone like this, and I can do whatever. So yeah, that's the style that I've chosen, and it works. And then actually there is no point for me to go more far on Instagram. I mean, I don't really care about if I have 10 followers or if I have 10 followers. Of course, it's always great to grow, but my focus is not on getting more followers. I mean, my focus is more on engaging people with my brand and create a community.
That's cool. How would you describe your brand?
Wild and free, wild and free, and cozy, and ¿cómo se llama? Amistoso, like
Mysterious.
no, not mysterious. Like easy to approach.
Ah,
I
yes.
mean, I don't wanna look like very wow. I wanna look like friendly, because this is how I describe myself. Even though I know a lot of people, when they don't know me, they think I'm so stupid or I'm just an asshole. But then when they get to know me, everything changes. So I want to look like friendly and approachable.
Approachable. Yeah. And wild and
That's how
free.
I want to look. See,
Yeah.
and for everybody. I mean,
Yeah, you look like from what I've noticed through your feed, you look it's very inspiring what you do, like you you portray like someone who's very confident, but someone who's very thoughtful, and creative. And then like there's a little glimpse of you and your son. So there's this motherly, beautiful family. And yeah, it just looks like you got it going on.
It's just like that. I mean, it's something I tell you, it's something that I've created because it was on demand. But for me, in the beginning, it was just a hobby. I started to make this for myself. Somebody said one day you should sell your hats. So then I opened the Instagram page and I start to drop everything on. And one day my studio was in my 30 square meters apartment in my kitchen. That my kitchen is in my living room. And, I used to set up everything and hide everything
Put it back in the
the night.
box. Yeah.
But then I found like you need to have your workspace separate from your
Living space.
from the place that you live, because otherwise you can spend hours, and if you don't fall asleep you will be working. So you need to divide these two things, otherwise you get very into it. And then I moved here in my atelier, and it's just perfect. You end up your shift and you leave home. And one day I was working at that restaurant, the vegan one, and I had to quit because I had a lot of work already from the hats, and one day you have to jump into the pool, like
Mm-hmm.
it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to fly.
How was that feeling when you quit your job and made the hats?
Scary,
Yeah.
scary, but was the best summer of my life. Because here in summer you work a lot, and if you work for somebody, it's very tough. You don't have time for anything. Your day off is just so tired. You have many things to do. And now it's perfect. I just flow. I push it whenever I have to push it. If I need a day off, I take day off. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it feels great to work for yourself.
Yeah. I feel like that was one of the first things that I was striving to achieve, to have that freedom just to
Yes, it's
be
freedom.
and do. Yeah. You answer to
It's
yourself.
quality time for
Yeah.
yourself. I can take care of my son better than ever. I have time for him. That's the best. I see people struggling because they don't see his family, because they have to work, they have to travel, this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's not about making a lot of money. It's more about quality time.
Yeah. Wild and free.
Wild and free. This is how I like it.
All right. Well, Mar, maybe we should wrap this up. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your magic with
Thank
us.
you for having me. Muchas gracias. It's been a pleasure.
Muchas gracias a ti.
Keep it beautiful as you are, because I love your work. Y muchas gracias. Good luck with everything and stay connected.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to have you back on down the track sometime. Whenever
you feel like.
That'd be perfect.
And if you come here, let me know.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to visit you. And if I go to Australia, of course,
our doors are open. Yeah.
Say hi to your wife. Big hug.
Thank you.
Lots of love. And muchas gracias.
Nice to chat with you, and looking forward to
Hasta pronto.
Talking soon. Sí, hasta pronto. Gracias, amiga.
Un beso. Gracias, amigo. Hasta pronto.
Chao. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. If you want to see more of Mar's work, check out her Instagram account at Calvo_Hats, where you can see her latest offerings. Now that our little baby has been born, I'll be back in the swing of bringing you more episodes on the regular. My wife Mia gave birth to our little girl Isla Pearl at home on the 19th of June. So we've been enjoying our little love bubble for the last month and also trying to catch up on some sleep. If you want to keep up to date with new episodes, you can follow us on Instagram at the Hatmakers Podcast. And of course, subscribe to the show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you're after some new blocks or tools for your workshop, make sure you check out our new sponsor, Hat Blocks Australia. I've been using their hat blocks since I started making hats and can absolutely vouch for their quality and awesome customer service. You can find them at hatblocksaustralia.com.au or on Instagram at hatblocksaustralia. My name is Jack Savage, and you can check out my hats on Instagram at Creatures of the Wild Unknown or on my website creaturesofthewildunknown.com. So I'm looking forward to bringing you another interview in the next week or so. I've got some awesome episodes lined up. So until then, my friends, keep on hatting.